Peace to you. What's going on, beautiful people? It is a beautiful day, and it is time for the Master Key System, Part 6. Okay, we are getting through this book. We are enlightening ourselves. We are enlightening our environment. We are becoming the version of ourselves that we have been desiring to become for years and years, and it's all starting now. Okay, so without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the introduction, then I'm gonna go through these little paragraphs here. All right, as usual, there's not much that I'm gonna go through today, so it won't be so long, okay? Because I know how they can be pretty long, but honestly, this book is so empowering that there's just so many things I want to go over. But I'm gonna refrain from going through so much today. I'm still going to record the whole chapter so you can read it for yourself. And don't forget to hit those timestamps down there so you can kind of direct yourself in a more efficient manner. You don't have to sit and re-listen to something that maybe you've listened to before. But that's that. So let's get it right into it. Introduction.
It is my privilege to enclose Part 6. This part will give you an excellent understanding of the most wonderful piece of mechanism which has ever been created. A mechanism whereby you may create for yourself health, strength, success, prosperity, or any other condition which you desire. Necessities are demands, and demands create action, and action brings about results. The process of evolution is constantly building our tomorrows out of our todays. Individual development, like universal development, must be gradual, with an ever-increasing capacity and volume. The knowledge that if we infringe upon the rights of others, we become moral thorns and find ourselves entangled at every turn of the road should be an indication that success is contingent upon the highest morale idea, which is the greatest good to the greatest number. Aspiration, desire, and harmonious relations, constantly and persistently maintained, will accomplish results. The greatest hindrance is erroneous and fixed ideas. To be in tune with eternal truth, we must possess poise and harmony within. In order to receive intelligence, the receiver must be in tune with the transmitter. Thought is a product of mind, and mind is creative. But this does not mean that the universal will change its modus operandi to suit us or our ideas. But it does mean that we can come into harmonious relationship with the universal. And when we have accomplished this, we may ask anything to which we are entitled, and the way will be made plain.
So from this introduction, there are a few points that I'm just going to go over again that I felt really touched me. So the process of evolution is constantly building our tomorrows out of our todays. So we are constantly manifesting tomorrow from the thoughts, beliefs, and actions that we have held today. Today we are always putting in motion whatever energy, intentions, thoughts that we had into our future. So be mindful with the thoughts, the actions, the emotions that you allow yourself to have, the emotions you allow yourself to have because of somebody else's, energy towards you. Be mindful, because everything that you do, you think, you say, you feel is manifesting tomorrow, the next minute. Okay, I thought that was really, really important, and just liberating, just to know that you are in control. Something else, aspiration, desire, and harmonious relations constantly and persistently maintained will accomplish results. So through persistency, through you always having uplifting thoughts, not 100% of the day, because obviously, things do happen. You don't want to set those types of expectations too soon into your journey because you don't want to disappoint yourself. But have a lot of uplifting thoughts, and when you do have a thought that's undesired, just replace it with a different thought, and think about that thought 3 times, instead of 1 time. When maybe you had 1 bad thought, rebuttal it with 3 good thoughts, so that you kind of wash that kind of mental attitude out of your mental home. I thought those were really, really important and really, really liberating, because having beliefs or ideas that are limiting or fixed, whether they're what was passed down from your family or what your peers have told you or just something you feel, if your beliefs and thoughts are limiting, if they limit you from becoming any other bigger possibility that you may think of, if they are fixed where there is no wiggle room, you have no leeway, it's like this is either this or you're not a part of us. It's either black or white. There's no color in between your beliefs and thoughts. Then you're manifesting a reality to be fixed and limiting, if that's what you're believing. So we have the power. We have the power when we get in tune, when we align ourselves to source, to our higher self, and we are able to then identify ourselves in a different way than we may have thought before. Then we break through those limits. So that's the introduction. And now I'm gonna go all the way to number 19. All right.
Attention or concentration is probably the most important essential in the development of mind culture. The possibilities of attention when properly directed are so startling that they would hardly appear credible to the uninitiated. The cultivation of attention is the distinguishing characteristic of every successful man or woman, and is the very highest personal accomplishment which can be acquired. The power of attention can be more readily understood by comparing it with the magnifying glass, in which the rays of sunlight are focused. They possess no particular strength as long as the glass is moved about and the rays directed from one place to another. But let the glass be held perfectly still, and let the rays be focused on one spot for any length of time. The effect will become immediately apparent.
Okay, so 19 and 20 are really, really, really powerful. Attention is so important, because what you focus on grows, that saying, and it is so true. And being able to direct your attention will give you the access to the freedom of mind, therefore the freedom of reality. Whatever you put your attention on more so throughout the day is what you are manifesting. So if your attention is on something that is causing you fear or causing you anxiety, you're thinking about all these tasks that you have to get done throughout the day. You're thinking about how you maybe have mistreated somebody, or you spoke to them in a way that maybe you feel bad about now. If your attention is on these things all day, most of the day, then you are manifesting your tomorrow to be full of anxiety and fear and guilt. It's okay to be empathetic and to feel emotions, but don't drain yourself. Don't sit in those emotions so long. Allow the emotions to give you a realization of maybe what you should do next time, or what you shouldn't do, or, let the emotions guide you. But don't hold on to the emotions for so long, because then your energy is just gonna plummet. And if you don't know how to recharge yourself, to instill positive affirmations and just recharge, if you haven't learned how to do that within your being, your energy field, then tomorrow, the next day, the next week, you're gonna continuously be drained and maybe slide into depression. All right. So attention is really, really, really important. And if your attention is on undesired things, we will be creating undesired outcomes. We will be living an undesired life. If all the time our attention is on something we don't necessarily care for, we're around our friends and we're just talking about stuff that we're just talking about other people's lives, celebrities' lives. We're talking about other people and gossiping. If our attention is always on things that we don't really care for, then we're going to continuously manifest a life that we don't necessarily care for. And we're going to not like our life. We're going to compare ourselves to others. The power is within you. Be mindful with your intention. Just like the magnifying glass saying, with the magnifying glass, you hold it in one spot, it's going to start a fire or get hot right in that one focused area. If you move it around, nothing's really going to happen because it's too spread about, So whenever you focus on something, it will grow, it will light, it will ignite. Now I'm going to go over to 24.
In order to cultivate the power of attention, bring a photograph with you to the same seat in the same room, in the same position as heretofore. Examine it closely at least 10 times. Note the expression of the eyes, the form of the features, the clothing, the way their hair is arranged. In fact, note every detail shown on the photograph carefully. Now cover it and close your eyes and try to see it mentally. If you can see every detail perfectly and can form a good mental image of the photograph, you are to be congratulated. If not, repeat the process until you can. This step is simply for the purpose of preparing the soil. Next week, we shall be ready to sow the seed. It is by such exercises as these that you will finally be able to control your mental moods, your attitude, your consciousness. Men are learning to place themselves in harmony with the universal mind. They are learning the unity of all things. They are learning the basic methods and principles of thinking, and this is changing conditions and multiplying results.
So visualization is so powerful. I know I say that every time I do one of these series, one of these episodes, because this whole book is so powerful. But honestly, visualizing things and being able to have a detailed visualization of whatever it is so powerful. Because, okay, think about this. Augmented reality glasses. You know that it's not real, but your emotions tell something different. You will get afraid if you see something in those goggles. Your stomach will drop. Your emotions are directly tied to what you see because your brain will interpret it as it is real.
Look to your right.
No. Here's the clip. Oh, no.
Your emotions are directly tied to what you smell because your brain interprets it as it is real. Your emotions are tied directly to what you hear because what you hear goes into your brain and your brain computes it, and then you have emotions that are, the outcome from whatever you heard, smelled, seen. And also it depends on how you identify with those visions, smells, whatever you hear. So all of this plays a part in your creation, in your manifestation, in your reality. And when you're able to visualize clearly, you're able to control your emotions, manifest your desires. You're able to bring closer the desires that you have in your mind into this reality. Because what you see directly affects your emotions and your thoughts. And your emotions and your thoughts will create your reality. And also 30 was very important to me as well, because when you align with the universal, with your higher self, you rid yourself from the distractions that are set in place here, whether it's TV, music, ideas, other people's opinions, beliefs. You can make more clear decisions that will guide you to a higher mental, physical, emotional success. Whenever we are aligned with our intuition, with our higher self, for you it's God or Buddha or whomever it may be for you, when you're aligned with your higher self or that force, you are no longer allowing the distractions in the world to augment your thinking or your emotions. Now you're tied directly. Now you can ask questions and get answers that are more true to you. Now you can access your emotions, and you can use those emotions to benefit you in whatever you're trying to manifest. Aligning yourself and knowing when you're aligned is extremely, extremely beneficial. And like it said, we are becoming more and more prepared, or we are becoming more and more in tune with these abilities. All right. So that's what I get from 24 through 30. And this is the application. Okay. So we're already almost done with this one, but I'm going to go over to 33 as well.
Thought is the process by which we may absorb the spirit of power and hold the result in our inner consciousness until it becomes a part of our ordinary consciousness. The method of accomplishing this result by the persistent practice of a few fundamental principles, as explained in this system, is the master key which unlocks the storehouse of universal truth.
Okay, I love this one too. So, thought is a tool we can use to gather information and ideas. The more often we have particular thoughts, the more we become our thoughts. The more our thoughts present themselves in our physical reality. Through consistency and patience, we can unlock this innate power. Whenever you repetitively have a thought that you don't desire, you are manifesting. You're causing the ratio of you manifesting something that you don't desire to increase. Let's say you're having good thoughts today, okay? Your ratio of manifesting something that you don't want is, let's say, 1 in 10. All right. Now let's say you're going through the day, you've been hit with anxiety, somebody called you, made you think about things in a more lower vibrational way. Maybe something happened to your car or something, and you're having lower vibrational thoughts, undesired thoughts. Now your ratio of manifesting something that you don't desire tomorrow, the next hour, the next year, that ratio increases to, let's say, 1 to 4. Because now you're putting in motion, you're exuding energy, which you will in turn receive at some point in some energetic form or in some physical form. So the more often you have uplifting, desired, positive thoughts, the more you will create a life, a reality where you will be receiving positive, uplifting outcomes. Right? That's what I get for 33. 34.
The two great sources of human suffering at present are bodily disease and mental anxiety. These may be readily traced to the infringement of some natural law. This is no doubt owing to the fact that so far knowledge has largely remained partial, but the clouds of darkness which have accumulated through long ages are beginning to roll away, and with them many of the miseries that attend imperfect information.
All right, I thought 34 was really, really, really cool too, because it hits the nail on the head. A lot of our suffering may be linked to the way we think and perceive of the world. Music, television, government, our parents, intoxicating foods, beverages, the different products we use on our face or whatnot, on our bodies, they alter our thoughts. But we're beginning to remember our powers. And we as a collective we're coming into our true abilities once again. A lot of the distractions, whether it be from television programming, us growing up watching certain things on TV and imagining ourselves in these movies and these fairy tales, and we're believing in relationships, they should go this way because what we've seen on TV, and when they don't, we're depressed. We're listening to music that is, causing us to either be upset or angry or sad, or think about violence or sex. And we're having all of these things going on, definitely during our development as children. All of these things that are being implanted into us and what we perceive as what things should be. And then we grow up, and then we have all of this anxiety, and we have all of these expectations. And we think as we get older, we should deteriorate, and we have thoughts that, we have these fixed thoughts that have been implanted into our minds that are causing us illness. They're causing us frustration and depression because of the thoughts, the mindset that has been pushed, that agenda that has been pushed onto us from whenever it started. It has created illness, dis-ease within us as humans, as a collective. But as it says, the clouds of darkness which have accumulated through long ages are beginning to roll away, and with them many of the miseries that attend imperfect information. So just as our miseries are rolling away, so are the source of those miseries, the things that have created us to be programmed so heavily, so intoxicatingly, the things, the entities, the people, whatever it may have been that has implemented these things into us that have created destruction. Not only is our misery going away, but so are those things that have created our misery. It's all going away. So that is chapter 6, okay? Basically, the application for this one it was 24. Just go ahead and look at a picture, whether it's on your phone or something, or it doesn't even have to be a picture. Just visualize something and try to visualize it in complete detail, and do that for this week. Whatever it is, it says to go in the same spot, because you can, whenever you're in the same spot and you do these things often in the same spot, that energy that is there in that spot will help you get to a certain state of consciousness quicker, more easier, But if you can't do that, it's okay as well. Just visualize, practice your visualizations, because that will really enhance your manifestations and the outcomes of them. All right. So thank you for being on here. Thank you for watching this. It's always a great time. There's always much love here for everyone. Please come back as often as you can. There's timestamps below where you can kind of click and get to where you need to go. All right. Much love. Peace and blessings. You are whole. You are powerful. You are strong. You are enlightening. You are beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. All right. The mind is the master. Okay. Your mind is creating your reality. Have those uplifting, self-beneficial thoughts more so throughout the day, and watch your life change. Okay. Peace and blessings, y'all. Peace and blessings.